Hello, Concordia Place parents. My name is Jessica Jacobi. I am an intern at Concordia Place. Welcome to this recorded webinar. In this webinar, we're going to talk about potty learning. I think that language creates reality. So this time, we will change the term potty training to potty learning. Throughout this webinar, we will start off talking about signs and wrong signs of readiness. We will talk about ways to prepare your child to the potty learning process. We will discuss things to consider before starting the process. We will talk about different methods and other things to consider as well. What is the age of readiness? Each child is unique and will be ready to leave diapers behind at different moments in their development. Toilet learning readiness should not be dictated by a child's chronological age. The window for normal toileting learning is large and ranges from 18 months to 4 years of age. Children must be ready in different areas of development, such as psychologically and physiologically, as well as cognitively and motorically. Determining the best time to begin toilet training is not always easy. Not only because readiness occurs at different ages for different children, but because your child may be ready in one area of development but not in another. We will briefly review some cues or milestones that might give you a better idea if your child is ready. Remember that each step increases the chances of toilet learning success. While urine fills the baby's bladder and is released through the urethra, and bowel movements fill the large intestine and are expelled via the rectum, just as with adults, babies cannot yet control the circular sphincter muscles that keep the bladder and rectum closed. As a baby's stomach fills during a feeding and passes more fluid to the bladder, the sphincter muscles automatically relax, and urination or bowel movement occurs. As long as this process remains involuntarily, until at least 18 months in most cases, a baby is unable to consciously delay elimination and cannot deliberately wait to use the potty. In general, most children become physiologically ready for toilet learning at around 18 months of age. That is, their digestive system and bladder have matured to the point where they can delay a bowel movement or urination long enough to get to a potty. Physiological readiness involves physical readiness, or the ability to control the muscles that hold in bladder and bowel movements. See if your child stays dry for 2 to 3 hours at a time, or wakes up from a nap with a dry diaper. See if your child starts to urinate and move their bowels at predictable times. This makes knowing when to use the potty easier. And see if your child shows signs that they are about to pee or poop, like grunting, freezing, or squatting, because children need to be aware of their own bladder and bowel signals. They need to learn when their bodies are signaling them that it's time to urinate or have a movement. In general, children show signs of bladder and bowel control between 18 and 24 months of age. Some babies are not very aware of proprioceptive feedback from bowel or bladder pressures. How can you support the process of recognizing that feeling, the feeling of having pee or poop in your tummy? You can start off by modeling. Start talking aloud in front of your child about that feeling. Connecting feeling to action. We want to build up the connection between a feeling inside the body and taking an action. We can start putting words to this, as this underlying process is critical to the potty process. For instance, you could say, "Oh, I think I have that feeling. Is it? I think so. I'm going to run to the toilet." Or, "I have that feeling. My bladder is telling me it's full. I'm going to the bathroom and then I'll be right back." You can bring your child's awareness to what's happening with his body and how he might know he may need to stop playing and go to the toilet. Use correct terms for body parts and body functions, and maintain a neutral tone. If your child is showing readiness and you notice him pressing his legs together or dancing about, you can say, it looks like you might have to go to the bathroom. Do you want to use your potty chair? When your children feel the urge to poop, you might notice grunting, squatting, or freezing. Children's faces may turn red while pooping. Explain briefly to your children, even though they are still in diapers, that these signs mean a poop is about to come. You can comment neutrally, "Oh, I think a poop or pee is coming. Do you feel it happening?" Your goal is to strengthen your child's awareness of the feeling of needing to use the potty so that they can build on this understanding when the time comes, and to encourage them to see toilet learning as a desirable skill. Now we're going to talk about cognitive readiness, which means involving the ability to understand what is expected of them. They need to be able to associate the need to eliminate with potty use, to remember to use it, and to resist distraction long enough to complete the process. This can mean if your child shows increased awareness of his bodily functions, if your child is starting to understand when they are going to urinate or have a bowel movement. For instance, they may move to a quiet or private spot to having to poop. If your child communicates his wants and needs verbally or non-verbally. If your child tells you that they have peed or pooped in their diaper. Is your child able to understand and follow simple and two-step instructions in general? This will help them to understand, okay, I feel the urge to poo or peep, then I have to go to my potty. And if they have curiosity about bathroom activities, potty, etc., and shows interest in wanting to sit on a toilet or potty chair or express a desire to wear underwear. Emotional readiness is all about holding on, letting go, and conforming to grown-up standards. It's about who is in control, and in this case, it's your child, not the adult. Your child may show signs of readiness, of emotional readiness, according to the following. If they dislike and show discomfort when staying in wet or soiled diapers, and if they want to be changed. If they seek independent behaviors in different areas of development, they might say no and make up their own mind. If they ask to wear big kids' underwear, if they need to be willing to use it, to use the toilet, and have toilet learning struggles happen when children choose not to use the toilet. Potty learning is about independence, and yet kids both want to get older and be our little children. Forcing a child into a big kid's identity can backfire for kids who are struggling with growing up or who are conflicted about the potty experience. This can especially backfire if there's a new baby and a child doesn't want to fully give up their little kid part. Independence is not built by forcing a child to be independent. Independence is built by letting your child internalize that you love them and are available to them. Then they will want to separate and explore the world, knowing that you will always be there. Finally, motor readiness involves the gradual improvement in other gross and fine motor skills, which usually begin at around 18 months and will support your child's ability to handle their clothing more efficiently and to engage in activities that may keep them seated on the potty long enough to eliminate successfully. If they are able to help undress themselves and pull down their pants and underpants, as well as pull them back easily. If they can walk to and from the bathroom, they may have learned to walk months or years before. If your child can stay still long enough to sit on the potty. So, once your child is ready, and so are you, decide to go for it, showing clear signs. This is a positive change. And remember, this will be a process of achievement and tons of learning, strengthening your relationship with your child, building resilience, and knowing that accidents will happen, and navigating hard and positive emotions together. Remember also that learning to use the toilet is a process that takes time. Remember I said that each child is unique and will be ready at different moments. The following are wrong signs of readiness. If your child's friends are being potty trained. A book said your child should be ready by now. Your own anxiety and fears about your kid's readiness. The age you were when you were potty trained. The age your other offspring were when they were potty trained. If the child is not ready, the process will take far longer. Power struggles can go on for months and permanently damage the adult-child relationship. There can be feelings of failure for both you and your child. There could be power struggles. There could be an extended period of training, taking much longer than it would if you waited until your child is ready. There could be signs of constipation. What you can do instead is to carefully observe for clear signs of readiness. When children seem to be signaling an urge to eliminate by touching their diapers, pressing their tights together, and others, ask matter-of-factly if they would like to use the potty, and calmly accept no for an answer. Remember, though, that you can slowly start the process of helping your child get familiarized with potty learning even before they are absolutely ready and ditch the diapers. As we will see, playing around toilet learning, reading books, and modeling are great steps that you can take even when your child has months ahead of still using diapers. Even before your child is ready to use the toilet or potty, you can model the way to use it. You could say, I'm going to the bathroom, my body is telling me I have to use the toilet. And if you feel comfortable, you could let your child watch you or a sibling urinate to help them visually get used to it. Symbolic play is when children use objects or toys to represent something else. For example, using a toy car to represent a real car, or using a stuffed animal to represent a real animal. This type of play helps children develop their imagination, creativity, and problem-solving skills. When it comes to toilet learning, symbolic play can be used to help children understand the concept of using the toilet. Your child can use his favorite play objects and you can play together, pretending they are using the toilet. You can even play out what happens when accidents occur, or different emotions that you both will experience throughout the process. Playing around toilet learning can help them become more familiar with the idea of using the toilet. If you usually enjoy reading books, you could also read a book with your child about using the toilet. Reading children's books about using the toilet and the toilet learning process can help them process all the changes, make sense of them, and reading books may seem inviting and exciting. I encourage you to go to a public library and ask for potty learning or potty training books that you could read with your child. I went to one library and found these amazing resources. According to their age and development, it is very common that some curious children can ask you what pee or poop is. You can answer authentically and provide information about how the body works, how pee and poop come out, and where they go later. You can always say this simple thing. Pee is extra liquid from our bodies. And for poop, when we eat, our body turns food into energy. The parts of our food that our body doesn't need turn into food. Try not to call poop yucky or stinky, as this leads children to believe they shouldn't have poop inside them, that it's bad and shouldn't be seen. We will now talk about some things to consider before you start a process. When it comes to learning to use the toilet, the way loving adults can be most helpful is to provide an optimal environment and then wait patiently for the child to be ready and indicate their desire and willingness to participate in the process. Your child will need to feel like a separate person and like they are in charge of what comes out of their body, when and where. The potty process involves a big developmental change. Your child is now in charge of peeing or pooping rather than a parent being responsible for the key elements. We want to show support for this change. This is a child's process, not a parent's. We want our kids to be invested and excited more than we are. Remind yourself, my child is in control. This is about my child and their body. I am here to support them. At the end of the day, potty training is all about a child starting to recognize sensations in their body. This is a process of learning to look inwards and assign meaning to feelings. As in, oh, I know this feeling in me. It means I have to go to the bathroom. We want our children to feel like they know the sensations and urges inside their bodies. We want to communicate to our children that they are the experts in their own bodily urges and sensations. In the potty process, we want our children to embody self-confidence, an ability to set boundaries and consent, that they are the ones who know their body signals. They are the ones who make decisions. They are the ones who know what is happening and what to do next. Toilet learning is not a question of making children do something for you. It is a matter of helping them do something for themselves. So, saying toilet training can imply that the parent is the one who wants the child to use the potty. However, even though this still might be true, in toilet learning, the focus of this important transition is put on the child, and it becomes the child the most important agent and the one who wants to use the potty. So, okay, now once you realize that your child is ready or is almost ready to start the real process of leaving the diapers, you can think of when to start. Summertime can be a great time to start because family schedules are often more relaxed and children can be allowed to run around naked or just in underwear at home, which helps them become very aware of what's happening with their bodies in a way they don't when they are wearing super absorbent diapers or pull-ups. You can also consider that there should be no other big changes happening at home. It's usually best not to start the process if a new baby has just arrived, if you are moving in 2 weeks, if your child has just started daycare, or if there is a major family crisis. Changes in the family or stress can make the process more difficult and prolonged than it has to be. Once your child will no longer be using diapers, it is a great idea to prepare both physically and mentally. Preparing your house will allow you to feel more relaxed and less in control. You may keep your rugs rolled up for those initial days to help reduce your own anxiety about a mess. You can also keep some spray cleaner and extra paper towels in common areas for easy of cleanup. Include your child in the cleanup process. And it might help to put an old blanket over the couches or furniture if you may feel concerned about them. Think of other actions that you can take to prepare your house to allow you to relax and reduce anxieties. Do what you need to allow for a low stress and relaxed body learning experience. Avoid having big negative reactions. Remember, this is not your process. This is your child's process. You are there to support them. Another good thing to consider is what clothes to use. Do not dress your child in clothing that is hard to get out of during early learning. Wearing these items may cause extra stress for the child if they cannot get them off in time or are always getting wet and having to change their clothes. It is good to use easy to remove clothing. Overalls, button onesies, and dresses will make it harder for them to have a sense of agency in the process. Being able to easily change on one's own helps empower a child to feel in control and capable. These are some things you can get before you start the process of really leaving the diapers. Potties. You can have one or more than one, depending on your house, to allow your child to have a quick access wherever they are. Andes. You should also buy Andes in advance and pick them out with your child so they are involved in the process. Pull-ups or diapers. Keep diapers or pull-ups for naps and sleep. Remember that once your child is ready to leave the diapers behind during the day, they will still need to use diapers when asleep. Staying dry during when they are asleep takes time. 12 to 20% of children still wet the bed at age of 5. When your child starts using the potty or toilet, it is good to provide them with a special potty chair for learning under a step stool with a child-sized booster seat on the toilet. Some people say a potty chair is recommended rather than a toilet during the early stages because children feel more secure and stable on the potty. The potty also provides the best biomechanical position for the child. However, every child and family are different. So, if you have a clear desire to use a stool with a child booster seat on the toilet rather than the potty, then it can work out well too. Remember that the toddler's feet have to rest firmly on the floor to provide added security, or on a stool. Some things you can do to enjoy more the process and involve your child in it is letting them choose their very own potty chair. When you introduce your child with the potty, tell them it's a very special chair and it belongs to them. Explain that it serves the same purpose as the toilet in the bathroom. The following are some scripts that you could start telling your child in a relaxed and authentic way, so the potty use and the potty talk start becoming more and more natural to your child. That is a potty. It's where children put their pee and poop. This is the potty. It's similar to the toilet I use, except it's shorter, so your feet can reach the floor just like mine do when I pee and poop. Oh yeah, that's there in case you're curious and want to try sitting on it. Soon you'll be ready to be on the toilet, just like I am. Soon you'll want to pee on the potty, you'll know when. I will tell you a note on praise and rewards. You should always provide encouragement, but not coercions such as big or huge rewards. It is good to praise, but without overdoing it. The natural reward for your child is the mastery they feel at accomplishing a new skill and body control. Remember that your child's success is its own reward. As with any work, it is best done with the intrinsic rather than the extrinsic value. If the toilet learning process is carried out calmly without a show of rewards, of huge rewards, the infant will soon begin to realize that what they are doing is a natural, normal, and private experience. If your child goes to a daycare, the parents must communicate their toilet learning practices to the childcare providers, so everyone is on the same page. Giving your child one clear message of the expectations will help them to have a clearer sense of what is expected from them in this process. It is crucial that your child's teachers know what you are experiencing to better support them in the process, as well as to know that emotional or behavioral changes may occur in different areas of development as a consequence of this important developmental transition. Partnering and asking your child's daycare providers for resources and support can also improve your own sense of competence and better equip you with tools to help your child master the toilet learning process. In addition, remember to send extra pants and clothes in case of accidents. Remember that every child is unique, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach to toilet learning. It's important to be patient and consistent and to find a method that works best for your child's temperament and personality, and for your family as well. You can borrow ideas from different approaches and customize a plan that works best for your family. Okay, so now let's talk about the process or the methods. You will decide whether this process will be long or short-lived. Everything we have discussed until now will leave you more prepared to arrive to this crucial point. to the day that your child will stop using diapers, at least during the day. I know there are tons of books and professionals who recommend 1, 3, or 7-day methods. I know you are the expert on your family, so I encourage you to think deeply of what will work best for your unique family and child. Remember, you have already started the process months before by playing, reading books, talking about it, modeling the toilet use, and choosing undies and a potty together with your child. So when it comes to this important moment, you and your child are kind of already ready. Approach this moment as a teamwork, where your child is the most important actor in this process, and where your role is to support them. 3-day methods are intensive ones, and they involve dedicating a full 3 days to toilet teaching or toilet learning. During these 3 days, your child will wear only underwear and will be taken to the toilet every 15 to 30 minutes. You will want 3 days to really be in the potty process. This means no plans, no playdates, no outings. You want to be home in a known environment with few distractions. Having quiet days and a sense of stability helps your child feel safe enough to make the change to using the potty, which helps a child feel empowered and capable. You will want to pay close attention to your child, mostly so you can learn the signs that your child has to use the potty, so you can empower them to have success. If you are busy with plans or distracted, you'll be less able to pay attention. Your child won't have the support they may need, and everyone will be more frustrated. In this method, the child will most probably be naked from waist down. The parent sets the pace and structure of this toilet learning process or method. You can start by scheduling regular potty breaks and having your child sit on the toilet for a few minutes, even if they don't show any signs of needing to go. As your child becomes accustomed to the routine, you can gradually increase the intervals between potty breaks. I call this process the in the middle process, and it is both child and adult oriented. This can take few days or few weeks or even months. Step 1. As we talked before, pick out a potty with your child, one that they like. This is their potty. Step 2. Let them sit on their potty with their clothes on, if they seem interested. Their potty should be next to your potty, so you can sit on yours and model. You can add fun activities while sitting, like playing a game, singing, or telling a story. Step 3. Take them to the bathroom to empty their diaper contents into the potty. Help them understand that diaper contents belong in the potty. This is a good time to teach hand washing. Step 4. At a later date, the child can be led to the potty several times a day and encouraged to sit on it for a few minutes without wearing a diaper and not forcing it. Step 5. This can be called the big step. Ask your child if they want to take off their diapers. Let your child play without pants or nothing waist down. Nakedness helps children learn about their bodies and where the pee comes from and the poop. They will spend time with nothing on below the waist in a specific area of your home. Put the potty in this area. In the beginning, this can still just be a sitting practice, and actually peeing or pooping in the potty may come later. Step 6. You can ask them if they want to try using the potty themselves, or they might do it without prompting. If any of this succeeds, don't get too excited but compliment them calmly. Step 7. If they continue to use the potty, remove the diapers during the day completely. It should not be forced, but at the same time, it is good not to show ambivalence. Now your child is ready. You can remind them about the potty from time to time. Or if you see telltale signs, of impending pee or poop, like pausing during play, squatting, or grunting, you can playfully remind them or run together to the potty or bathroom. Remember, at this time, accidents will still happen. Longer process methods rely on the idea that potty learning should consist of no more than offering the child the possibility of using the potty whenever they want to and feel ready to. Longer process methods are more child-oriented and involve allowing your child to take the lead in the toilet learning transition. As we have previously discussed, you can introduce the potty chair to your child and let them get familiar with it. Once they show interest in using it, you can encourage them to sit on it frequently and together celebrate any of their attempts. Over time, and if you avoid huge reactions, both positive and negative, your child will become more and more intrinsically motivated to stop using diapers. This long process requires that you feel confident and relaxed instead of anxious. You can also suggest new ideas and guide your child towards more independence, but without forcing him to. I will tell you now, and this is definite. Accidents will happen. The more prepared you are for them, the more understanding and the less frustrated you will be. Toilet learning, such as other learning processes, will be one step forward and one step backwards. If an accident happens, try to remain calm, matter of fact, and supportive. Your pants are wet. Can I help you get cleaned up and into dry clothes? Accidents happen sometimes where you're just learning to use the potty. You tried really hard to get to the potty on time. Next time, you'll be able to do it. Regard accidents as opportunities that your child can learn from. You can be prepared for them and always be taking extra clothes with you, as well as cleaning wipes. You can say, "Oh, were you withholding your pee? Next time you feel that your tummy has to pee, let me know and we will go fast to the bathroom." You can also say, "It's okay, you know what? When I was little, I was learning to use the potty too, and I also had some accidents." Another good idea is involve your child in the cleaning process. You could tell them, "Let's bring the wipes. Here you have one to wipe the floor. I'll get a dry Andy and pants." But do not force it, but let them know it's a joint responsibility. Approach accidents as opportunities for the child to learn how to clean up and get dressed. Always try to be warm and supportive, even though it might be hard, I know. Never try to scold or punish when your child has an accident. This will only damage their sense of self as well as create a barrier in the confidence to conquering this important developmental transition. You can, however, talk about what the child can do to be successful next time. Finally, do not insist your child remains on the toilet longer than 5 to 7 minutes. That's too long. We don't want the child to develop an association of unpleasantness with the bathroom. It is also super important that throughout this process, you teach your children proper hygiene habits. Show your children how to wipe carefully. Girls should spread their legs apart when wiping. They should wipe thoughtfully from front to back to prevent bringing germs from their rectum to their vagina or bladder. Make sure both boys and girls learn to wash their hands well after using the toilet. Once you decide to start the change, do not give mixed messages. We don't want our children to think we are ambivalent or don't believe in their ability to be successful. If you do decide your child won't be using more diapers during the day or while he's not asleep, uh, you have committed to this. Diapers and pull-ups absorb pee, and so kids don't get the input from their body about what's happening, which can lead them to becoming more disconnected from their body signals. Our goal is to increase body awareness. However, if your child asks to, they can still poop on a diaper if they are afraid or do not know how to poop on the potty, which commonly happens in the beginning. Still, every time they signal they need to poop, you can ask them, "Do you feel ready to poop on the potty or toilet?" If they say no, then you could tell them, "Okay, you will let me know when you are ready to," just like your older sibling or just like me. At times, children may be reluctant to pass stool in a potty or the toilet, particularly if they do not have a good support for their feet. At this time, it is imperative that they be allowed to continue having bowel movements in a diaper to prevent the development of constipation and consequently painful bowel movements, which will further delay the toilet learning process. When going out, carry extra underwear, wipes, and a change of clothes with you at all times. Some parents even choose to carry a portable potty chair with them on long trips. Also, take an extra pair of clothes to the daycare, which can include t-shirt, undies, socks, pants, and even shoes. I hope this presentation was useful and you feel more empowered and equipped for this complex and challenging process. You've got this.